Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Hope you're all fine. My dear children, welcome back to the social study class and the chapter which we were concentrating. The chapter name is Advent of Europeans to India. Whereas in our previous class we have discussed about the Portuguese, we have discussed about the Dutch, and in today's class we are going to concentrate towards the British or the Englishes. So, my dear children, whereas in the previous class I have given a little introduction about the Britishers or the Englishes. So, the British people, they have entered into India in the year of 1600 with the permission of the Queen Elizabeth. By staying in England itself, she has permitted to the East India Company to start their companies in the eastern part of any countries, because most of the countries were there by the time of that. Most of the countries were there in the control of Queen Elizabeth. So she has given a permission to the East India Company members to start their business in any part of eastern countries. Particularly, she has not at all taken any country name. Neither she said about the India or the China or other things. So she has not at all said. She just said that in any eastern part of a country you can start your business as per the Charter Act. The Charter Act, it means what? It's an act which is being passed by the Queen Elizabeth, and according to this act, the Company of East India, they can start their business with the complete permission for the 20 years. So the Charter Act, it is giving a permission for 20 years, but in initial days the Queen Elizabeth, she has given a permission for the 15 years to the East India Company. So they gave permission to East India Company members to start their business, to start their factories or the companies for 15 years with a full granted permissions. The Queen Elizabeth has issued this permission on December 31st. It was in the 1600 year. But after reaching to India, when the East India Company, it was settled down itself. For settling down, it has taken a little duration. So it is all around, I can say that around 1613. It means 13 years they have taken for settling down, for understanding the atmosphere, for understanding the nature of Indian rulers, for understanding the foreigners, those who have already living in India, those who were living in India, like as Portuguese people and the Dutch people, they settled down in India since before of the Britishers. So then they have taken a little duration, little time they have taken, and after this, formally they had started their company in the year of 1613. So the British people, they have British East India Companies, they have started their formal business in the year of 1613 onwards. So then again afterwards we can concentrate towards that. They established their first warehouse after construction of their business, when they have started their business with a formal manner, with complete permissions. So in the year of 1613 they have started their business, and after this they had constructed a factory at a place called as Surat. So this was the first factory of Britishers, or the first warehouse factory of the Britishers, which they had started in India at a place called Surat. So the next point, it is in the year of 1617. In the year of 1617, Sir Thomas Roy, he was a foreign ambassador. Foreign ambassador in a sense, a person, one who have traveled from the England, all over the England, and he just settled down in the court of Jahangir, King Jahangir, the Mughal dynasty's ruler is. So he settled down in the court of King Jahangir, and he took, it means Sir Thomas Roy, he took a permission from the James I, one who was the ruler of England. So James I, he has given a permission to the Sir Thomas Roy to go and settle down in the court of Jahangir and seek a permission from him for maintaining a trade in a few particular places. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜೇಮ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅವನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ದೇಶದ ರಾಜನಾಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಕ್ವೀನ್ ಎಲಿಜಾಬೆತ್ ನಂತರ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರೋಂಥವ್ರು. ಸೊ ಈತನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ತನ್ನ ಅಂಬಾಸಿಡರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತನ್ನ ಒಬ್ಬ ರಾಯಭಾರಿಯನ್ನ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಇಂದ ಈ ಮುಘಲ ಆಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮುಘಲ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯದೊಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಜಹಾಂಗೀರನ ಹತ್ರ ತನ್ನದೊಂದು ರಾಯಭಾರಿಯನ್ನ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ತನ್ನ ಮುಖಾಂತರವಾಗಿ ತಾನು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆತನ ಮುಖಾಂತರವಾಗಿ ತಾನೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ಆ ರಾಯಭಾರಿ ಹೆಸರೇ ಸರ್ ಥಾಮಸ್ ರಾಯ್. ಈತ ಒಂದು ಜಹಾಂಗೀರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಘಲ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯದ ರಾಜನಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಜಹಾಂಗೀರ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಬಂದು ಆತನೊಳಗಡೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆತನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿನಗಳಾದ ನಂತರ ಆತನಿಂದ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. We need the permission for maintaining a business at few particular places of yours. So then King Jahangir, as I used to tell you that we the Indians are really a very broad hearted one. So though we are not having anything else, but for giving to the others, we will be brings from some other corners. So that's the thing which he has done. That was the blunder mistake which the King Jahangir did in those days. So as a result of that, when he has taken a permission for maintaining a business, so the King Jahangir has given a permission to the Sir Thomas Roy to start their business or to continue their business in few particular places of India. So which are the places he got as a bonus or as with a free of cost? King Jahangir has given him the 3 most important places for maintaining business in India. So one is Agra. So Agra, in a sense, we can remember that yes, definitely it is in nearest to the Delhi, and Taj Mahal it is locating, and river Yamuna it is there. So then with the proper planning itself, the Britishers they had taken Agra from the King Jahangir, because they knew very well that there is a float of river, and when the river or the oceanic areas are there, that particular area only they were catching, because it will be easy for importing and exporting the goods from one country to another country. So hope you are understanding. Agra they have taken, and the King Jahangir has given them with a free of cost. Agra he has given. Then Ahmedabad which is locating in Gujarat. So then he has given a permission for the Ahmedabad. See, already they had started their business in Gujarat itself. Surat, it is a place which is locating in Gujarat. Already the Britishers were having their factory in the Gujarat. So in Gujarat state itself they want to maintain some more factories. So due to that reason they have taken a permission for the Ahmedabad place also, and even the brooch. So from the King Jahangir, Sir Thomas Roy, he got the 3 places as for maintaining the business in India. One is Agra, Ahmedabad and Broach, and already they had got a place that we can call it as Surat, and in the year, formally I can say that in the year of 1613 itself they had started their factory, because in the year of 1600 the Queen Elizabeth, she has issued the charter, royal charter authority she has issued, and as per that authority when they have entered into India, whoever the king was there, they have requested to the Surat king, and from him they have taken the place called Surat. So Surat was there in their control. Then again, when they have contacted with King Jahangir, and from him they took the places called Agra, Ahmedabad and Broach. So next we will concentrate towards the other things. In the year of 1639, the English established, or English took Madras from the king of Chandragiri. See, the ruler of Chandragiri. And this king of Chandragiri, he was the ruler, under his control even the Madras, or today we can call it as the Chennai. So this Chennai was there in the control of King Chandragiri. So Britishers slowly, when they are becoming a little more powerful one, see, in the year of 1600 or before 1600 they enter into India. They started their company in the year, first formal company, British East India Company started in the year of 1600 itself, but business of this in formal manner, in actual manner, it is started from the 1613 onwards. So 13 years time they have taken for understanding all the situations. And then again, in the year of 1617, with the help of Sir Thomas Roy, they took 3 places from the King Jahangir. So those 3 places are Agra, Ahmedabad and Broach. 1617 they become a little more powerful now. Then again, in the year of 1639, the king of Chandragiri, so one who is being considered as one of the dynamic personality, and he got defeated. He got defeated by the hands of the Britishers, and the Britishers took Madras in their control. Defeated in the sense what? By the wording it may be there, or else by making a fooling to the king of Chandragiri it may be there, or else by requesting it may be there. Somehow else they have taken the Madras in their control, not with the war. Okay, so Madras it has fallen in the control of Britishers now. And Madras they have taken, which is completely located in surrounding of the river areas itself. Chennai we can call it out. So then again, after these things, see, when they have taken the Madras, in surrounding of the Madras, they started to construct the fort, which the king was not at all given a permission for them to construct the fort. Any king, neither the Jahangir has given them a permission for constructing the fort for Agra, Ahmedabad and approach, nor even the Surats, and directly when they got Madras, they started to construct the fort. For example, if it is a Madras, in surrounding of this Madras, the Britishers started to construct the fort, which means very clearly this area belongs to us. The compound and all, if any land if you are purchasing, then definitely you are going to be put out a fence or the compound you are constructing, which indicates very clearly that this is mine. Only I am the person one who is authorized here. Nobody is having a right here without my permission. So that all the things which will come in our mind. So similar manner what the Britishers did here, they started to construct the fort, which indicates very clearly now the Britishers' mind is attacking on the country. Now the Britishers' mind is to be capture the places one to another one. So they took permission for maintaining a business in Madras. So instead of maintaining the business directly, they started to be fortifying it. They started to fortify, or else they started to construct a fort around the place called Madras. And for that fort they gave a name called Saint George. The fort name is Saint George. The fort, it means you can call it in Kannada Kote Godegalenalla. Okay, Saint George, it is a name which they have given. Then here we can understand that after finishing these things, the Charles II, one who was the ruler or the prince of England. Charles II, he was the prince of England, and by staying in England itself, so the British, what you can call the royal family, they were ruling over India. So the Bombay was there in the control of Charles II, and now the Charles II, he is handovering the Bombay to British East India Company. So you don't get a confusion that the royal family of the British is different here. Then again, East India Company is different. So over the India, the British's royal family, they did not rule. On India, East India Company has ruled, and this company took a permission from the Queen Elizabeth for maintaining business in India or in Eastern country for only 15 years. And after 15 years, they started to make the renewal of a Charter Act. See, Charter Act in a sense, see, 15 years over here in a sense, they are moving again towards the Queen or the King, whoever will be there. They are moving towards them and requesting them that we need some more duration for maintaining the business. So renewal of the Charter Act, 15 years over, then 20 more years we want. So whatever the amount you need for that, we will pay it out. In such a manner, they had taken rental. On rental, the royal family, they had given to the East India Company, and now the East India Company, those who have come over India for the sake of a business, they started to rule. They were not maintaining only the business here. Okay, so don't get a confusion in between of these two. So Charles II, the Prince of England, he gave a permission, or he has given a rental. On rental, he has given Bombay place to the Britishers for 10,000 pounds in a year. So for 1 year, the British East India Company, they need to give 10,000 pounds to the British royal family which were living in England, and especially the Charles II, one who has given a Bombay as in the form of a rent to the British East India Company. Hope you are understanding the things. So later period we can understand it out. In the later days, the Britishers, they started to purchase the 3 different villages from the kings of India. They purchased 3 different villages they have purchased. So which are those 3 villages? So you can notice here they have purchased a village called as Sultanati. Then again the second one is Kalikata. Then again third one is Govindapuram. 3 villages they have purchased. One is Sultanati, Kalikata and Govindapuram. So you may have a confusion here. Sir, they have purchased the city, very excellent city like as the Surat they have taken, it is there in their control. Bombay they have taken as in the form of a rental from the Charles II by paying every year. 10,000 pounds to the British government or the British royal family. Then they have taken as in the form of a gift. Udara Manasinda. Rajanagiruvanta Jahangir kottidnala gift. More places golu. So one is Agra, Ahmedabad and Poch. These three are also the excellent one. And again the Madras they have conquered, Madras they have taken from the king of Chandragiri. It's all were going in one excellent manner. We can understand that almost all the excellent cities are there. But why they have concentrated towards the village? So for your confusion, the answer is very simple, my dear children, because these three villages were located at around the river called Hooghly. At around the river called Hooghly. So now the Hooghly river's area, whatever the areas were there, it may be the Sultanate, then again Kalikata, Govindapuram. So those all the areas, they just wanted to control it out. Controlling in a sense, so Hooghly river, they just want to take in their control. So that they should not give a permission for the Portuguese or the Dutch or neither for the Indians to travel or for making export and import through that route. So that was the very certain things, and because of these things only the Britishers they have purchased these three villages by paying amount to the ruler. They have purchased the village called the Sultanate, Kalikata, Govindapuram in the year of 1690. Then later period we can understand that the Britishers they started to take a control over especially the most important three places. One is Calcutta, another one is Madras, then Bombay. Calcutta, Madras and Bombay, these three most important places they started to take their control, and especially they had concentrated much towards the Calcutta, and they declared the Calcutta as the capital city of theirs, businessing capital city of the Britishers. They declared the Calcutta as the capital city, and even the Britishers they took a permission from those days ruler of the Calcutta, one who has given a permission for maintaining a business to the Britishers in Calcutta. And what the silly things they did in Madras, the same things they had did even in the Calcutta. So fort also they started to construct the fort in surrounding of the Calcutta. But after on, it means later period, we can understand that there was a clash in between of the ruler royal family of India, those who have given only permission for maintaining a business to the Britishers. They did not give a permission for constructing the fort. So as against of that, the kings were they declared a war against the Britishers, and here we can find the Britishers they started to be fight against of the Indian especially the Indian ruler, I mean to say the Calcutta ruler. So that all the things will concentrate in the battle of Plassey. Next classes will concentrate it out. Hope you are understanding about the policies of the Britishers, how they entered India, and what was the purpose of this, and in which are the manner they have taken, which are the places. These are all the things we have noticed. In tomorrow's class we are going to concentrate about the French. After this we will involve in the war. Okay, so till then please stay safe. In war, in a sense, Carnatic War, first Carnatic War, second Carnatic War, third Carnatic War, Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar. Okay, fine.